Let me ask you something. You have big dreams, right? You want the grades, the opportunities, the future you keep picturing in your head. But when it is time to actually sit down and do the work, something stops you. Not exhaustion, not lack of time, not even a lack of ability. Just this invisible resistance that wins every single time. You open your phone instead. You tell yourself you will start tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and the cycle repeats. If that sounds familiar, this video is for you. Because the problem is not that you are lazy. The problem is that nobody ever told you what is actually going on inside your head, and more importantly, what to do about it. I am Sage, and today we are going to fix that. The first thing you need to understand is that your behavior always follows your identity. Not your goals, not your intentions, your identity. Right now, somewhere in the back of your mind, you have decided that you are someone who struggles to get things done. And every time you avoid an assignment, miss a deadline, or tell yourself you will handle it later, you are casting a vote for that version of yourself. Here is the shift that changes everything. Stop asking what you need to do and start asking who you are trying to become. Instead of saying, I need to get my work done tonight, say, I am the kind of student who takes care of their responsibilities every single day. It sounds simple, almost too simple, and I know that. But every action you take from this point forward is either a vote for the student you want to become or a vote against them. You are not trying to force discipline from the outside. You are growing it from the inside out. Change the identity first, and the behavior starts to follow. Once you have that identity locked in, the second move is to stop thinking big and start thinking embarrassingly small. I am serious. The reason most students never build real momentum is because they set the bar too high from the start. They wait until they feel ready to tackle everything at once, and when that feeling never comes, they do nothing at all. But here is what actually works. Commit to 1% better every single day. Answer one email to your professor. Start the introduction of that paper you have been avoiding. Show up to one office hour you would normally skip. That's it. Because what you are really doing in those small moments is not just completing a task, you are proving to yourself that you are someone who handles their business. And those small proofs compound. If you get just 1% better every day, by the end of a year, you are not slightly improved. You are 37 times better than when you started. The gap between who you are now and who you want to be is not closed by one massive effort. It is closed by showing up so small and so consistently that your brain stops seeing it as a big deal. That brings us to the third idea, and honestly, the one most students completely miss. Consistency beats intensity every single time. You do not need a perfect week. You do not need to be in the mood. You do not need to feel motivated to be a good student. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings come and go. What you need is to build the skill of showing up regardless of how you feel. Think about it like going to the gym. The people who actually get results are not the ones who go all out once a week and then disappear for 5 days. They are the ones who show up, even on the days they are tired, even when the session is short, even when it is not their best work. Being a good student works exactly the same way. Handling your responsibilities on your worst day, cracking open your notes even when you are exhausted, showing up to class when you would rather stay in bed, all of that still puts you further ahead than waiting for the right moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. The reps are what make you ready. That is the whole game. Now here is the one most people are not willing to do, and it is probably the reason their ambition never turns into action. You have to raise the stakes on yourself. Ambition without consequences is just daydreaming. If there is no real cost to skipping, you will skip. So make the cost real. Tell a friend exactly what you are going to accomplish this week, and tell them what happens if you do not follow through. Bet against yourself. Make a commitment that your ego will protect even on the days your motivation disappears. This is not about punishment. It is about creating the kind of pressure that turns intention into execution. Most students keep their goals private because they are afraid to fail in front of anyone. But that privacy is exactly what lets them off the hook. Put it on the line. Your reputation, your word, something that matters to you. Because when you do, you stop negotiating with yourself and you start moving. The last one is the one that makes all of this sustainable. Make learning something you actually enjoy. I know that sounds like advice your teacher would give you, but hear me out. The students who succeed long-term are not the ones who suffer through their responsibilities every day out of sheer willpower. They are the ones who found a way to make the process genuinely interesting. Get curious about the subject before you sit down to work on it. Watch a video that makes the topic click before you open the textbook. Talk about what you are learning with someone else. Find the angle that makes you want to know more instead of making you want to close your laptop. Because when you enjoy the habit of learning something new every single day, you stop relying on discipline to force you to the desk. You just go. The goal is not to make school easy. The goal is to make it something you stop dreading. And once that shift happens, everything else becomes much simpler. Here is what I want you to take away from this. I have seen what happens when someone with real potential keeps losing to that invisible resistance. I watched someone I care about deeply reach a point where they were this close to losing it all academically. Not because they were not capable, but because no one helped them close the gap between who they were and who they knew they could be. And I have also lived the other side of that story. The version where the habits click, the identity shifts, and the results start reflecting what was always possible. Both of those stories live in me, and that is exactly why I make this content. Shift your identity. Start smaller than feels worth it. Show up even when you do not feel like it. Raise the stakes so skipping has a real cost. And make learning something you actually want to do. Pick one of these today, just one, and put it into practice before you go to sleep tonight. And check out my video on studying smarter, because once the habit is there, studying faster is how you pull ahead even quicker. The student you are trying to become is not some distant version of you. They are one decision away. See you in the next one.